What up, channel? Hope everyone's day's being swell. We're back on the 240, of course. Last video we thought we had the launch control working, which we did not, so we're gonna get that set up this video. This works for most standalone ECUs, newer ones. I'm not gonna go, you know, older stuff, but most standalone ECUs this will work for. It's a pretty universal setup. But anyways, we thought last video that the clutch would we thought it would work because it's on the OEM wiring harness, and of course we bought the Mega Squirt, which is a plug-and-play setup, so we thought it would be reading through the wiring harness. We thought there was a wire for it, but it's on its own dedicated circuit, so you have to run a dedicated wire. So anyways, we're gonna get you in the car and everything, show you what's up, show you how to set it up. Let's do it. So first things first, we're assuming that your car's running properly and you got most of the hiccups out, and of course you're running the standalone. So you're gonna need your multimeter. I have a little diagram here showing how we're gonna wire this up. We're gonna be using the top clutch switch, not the bottom. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. And we're adding a toggle switch so we can turn the launch control on and off, and then that'll be ran to our ECU. Of course, we'll need wire strippers and some wire in our computer once we get it all configured. First, go ahead and grab your multimeter and get in the car. Locate your bottom clutch switch, which is depressed or compressed whenever you push the clutch in, and then of course your top clutch switch up here, which is compressed whenever you put or let go. So we'll be using the top clutch switch. Multiple reasons you would rather use the top clutch switch rather than the bottom, because the top, first off, you don't have to mash your foot all the way to the floor to activate the launch control. It mitigates over rev because your foot doesn't have to travel as much. Basically, it's all in the foot travel. Just use the top clutch switch. Trust me, you'll thank me later. So I know this isn't the best position, but you want to turn your key on, your ignition on, and you want to take your multimeter and go ahead and set it to continuity. You know it's on continuity whenever you tap them together, and you can hear it. So you want to take one lead, ground it to your chassis somewhere, a clean ground, and then you want to take your top clutch switch up here and unplug it, and you want to probe each side, each wire, and as you heard, that's the wire we'll be tapping into, because that's the chassis ground. So go ahead and turn that off. We'll be stripping that wire back and tapping into it. It's hot out here. Make sure that the wire that you're tapping into is the wire that was beeping, your ground wire. I can't stress that enough. Do not tap into a 12-volt starter interlock. Just do not tap into a 12-volt. Make sure that it's whenever you're touching the chassis ground, it's the beeping wire whenever you're doing that. Make sure you're tapping into that one. You can fry your ECU sending 12 volts to the processor and brick it and a whole bunch of other. Just do not do it. So anyways, I'll show you guys the diagram one more time. So we'll be tapping into the top clutch switch, and that'll be running to the toggle switch. This is a 12-volt toggle switch. Like I said, you do not want to run any power to this. We're just using it almost like a linear switch, on and off. So anyways, the wire from the top clutch switch goes down to this, and then you keep running it to the ECU. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and tap into that wire and run it up. Here we actually found a spot right up here next to our hazard and wipers and everything, which is kind of tucked away. So I'll show you once we get it in there. I'm gonna make something custom, but we'll get it to where it's nice and tucked away and everything, and then we'll get our wire ran, of course, over to our Mega Squirt PMP2 down there. Shame on me for not tucking all this stuff up yet, but I think we're tapping into pin 13. I'll have to look again. I'll put up a thing on the screen showing all the pins, the pin out of the DB26. So, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to chugging along on that, get it ran, and then we'll show you guys the some Mega Squirt settings. So if you look at the dash here, for the time being, we just wire crimped our connection. We'll go through and hardwire all of our connections at some point, but anyways, we just ran it up through the dash right here, and of course we're going to be putting our switch right in there, and then we ran our other wire back down behind the console, center console here, ran it over, and we're going to pin it into pin 13. I wanted to show you guys, same thing goes for your toggle switch. Put it to your continuity tester. Make sure your switch is on off. Put one side to the negative, or one side of the terminal, and then put the other side to 1. You notice how it's not beeping. They're both touching. Now when I flip the switch on, put it back on there. I can get it in the hole here. Jam up. Do not touch them. As you can see, we got continuity, so the switch is good. Throw in there, kid. We got the switch hooked up for the time being. We're gonna make leads and heat shrink it all so we don't have any exposed wiring. But we're gonna go ahead and pull out our mega squirt, pull out the DB26 connector, and pin in our launch control. It's kind of a mess down here in the passenger side footwell, but I'll show you guys. Disconnect the map sensor. Kind of pull this back. Oh, I have to take the pins off here. Cool thing about this connector, the pins are easily accessible and easy identifiable. So I'll put a link in the description for one of these DB26 connectors. They're pretty slick, come in a 2-pack or whatever. But anyways, we're gonna find pin 13 on there, which you may be able to see it right there, boom, or whatever. But we're gonna connect our launch control wire, run it through the grommet, connect it to pin 13, and then we'll have to get Tuner Studio out, set some parameters, and then test it out. Let's get it. So after a little bit of struggling and finessing, we got the other wire ran on pin 13. So we're gonna close it up and get it all back connected to the ECU, and we'll get back to you guys. It's hot. So we got the harness and everything back in. Let's go ahead and grab the computer real fast. Trusty. Ugh. I'm nervous. If everything is right, we have the switch off currently, so we should be able to start the car. So yeah, we should be able to start the car with our switch in the off position. Oh, I wasn't put to the floor. I was like, what the? But anyways, go ahead and go into Tuner Studio. You want to open up your Boost Advanced settings, go to launch control, and here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and have launch and flat shift enabled, so I'm gonna have to burn it real quick, and then it's gonna require a power cycle to get into change. But anyways, go ahead and start the car back up. So for starting off, we're lower our launch control RPM to 2800, and our soft limit RPM, that's 200. So that's going to be 200 RPMs less than what our max RPM is. So our launch control will engage at 2600 RPM, and our soft limit retard, we have that set at 3 degrees. The lower you go, once you start getting into the negatives, you start risking cracking your head or your manifold and just doing damage. So we're going to keep it at 3 for now, and enable launch when TPS is above 10, or throttle position is above 10. So once we put it above 10, it'll engage, and it's not engaging right now, so that's actually a good sign. It shouldn't be engaging because we have it off. So when I flip this switch to on as it is, when I hit the gas right now, the launch control, when I meet these thresholds, my launch control should engage. So let's go ahead and hit the gas and see. Okay, so yes, as you can see, the launch control light engaged. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So once we flip that down, let's hit it again. No launch control. I don't know what that lean spot is right there. We got to get that figured out. But anyways, flip it back on. Launch control engaged. Flip it off. No launch control. That's exactly what we were looking for. So I honestly wanted to use a potentiometer so I could have adjustable launch control, but sadly the Megasquirt PMP2 and a lot of other standalones, they just don't support that because they don't have analog to digital inputs. So the potentiometers, I'll show you real fast, that I ordered. Shut the car off real quick. Of course, the potentiometers I ordered, they would work for an MS3 or any standalone that has ADC, analog to digital inputs. And I'm actually trying to build a box, a launch control box for adjustable launch control and anti-lag and other things. So look, something like this is kind of just a mock-up, but it would take major modification to the the Megasquirt PMP2 to be able to get this to work, since it doesn't have the analog to digital input, which it could be done, but for I'm not gonna say mass production, just for production and stuff like that, it's not worth it. Look who it is. No shit. Yeah, that you is. And look who it is. But damn, that thing looking right. Like I was saying, I'll show you guys in the next video. We're coming up with something with the rotary switch, so you can have different mappings and stuff like that. But eventually I'm gonna try to put a screen, or I'm gonna put a screen on it and everything. I'll have to put a Teams or Arduino in it, and you know, make my own firmware and all that. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's this to come. But as you've seen, come hold this real quick. I got it to work. No, I should hold this. So look, I'll start the car up, move the bolts off. So you see this switch right there? Yeah. So I can hit the gas whenever. The launch control is not activated. I flip that motherfucking switch. Are you? And it's all adjustable.
Wait, so you can drive it and it works?
Go back, of course. Go back to
Damn! Dude, what the?
No, not because of the bad man, because he's a bad man.
Let's talk about just how bad he is.
Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god, that.
and that's look, but hey.
You gotta put caution tape back there. My bow is eardrum.
Oh, that shit was so loud. Anyways, I'll probably I'll get some clips sometime. I just wanted to show you guys how to set this up and give you the rundown on kind of my idea of what I'm trying to build here. But that's how you put a launch control with most standalone ECUs. Like I said, it's a pretty universal setup. It's not that hard. I still have a lot more to do, but it's coming together. It is coming together. It's pretty dope that works. So like I said, I was gonna mount this originally somewhere, you know, for the time being right there, and this switch would be to turn it on and off, and this would be the variable launch control. But of course I'm gonna put a screen there and integrate flat foot shifting, all that stuff. But I can't, like I said, I explained why. So I'll get my foot around it, get my way around it. Still coming up with something cool, but get one more clip right here. Come, go ahead, go ahead. Hold it for just a good second. Ah, one more. Ah, that's enough. That's enough. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That shit is actually so fucking loud.
Woo! Oh, go ahead and open that up. You guys can see somewhat, hopefully. Somewhat decent.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Really smacking some.
Really getting it going. So we have our switch off right now, of course. Probably can't see too well. Go ahead and throw your seatbelt on, partner.
Might toss me
Right
out
here,
my
kid.
seat.
Woo! Oh shit! Something ain't working right. So, let's think here. So it's even engaged as if the switch wasn't working. Interesting. But if I do this, that works. So, for some reason, something with the clutch switch is not wired properly. Let's see. See if we can get another one here.
Was that Jake?
No, I think that was Congo. I don't know who that. It did look like Jake a little bit, didn't it?
Hammer on the brakes.
Put on the brakes. So it does work, but what I'm looking for exactly is not quite there. But we'll get there. But we're gonna end it there. I don't want to get pulled over because this thing's shooting flames and shit. But hope you guys enjoyed the vid. We'll be taking her to a track soon for a shakedown. Stay tuned. We'll figure out the clutch issue here real soon, even though we'll just be using this for the time being as the launch control because it does work. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. What is that? What is that? Man.
Oh, damn. Oh, the sweet tea.
Wait, need to turn my boost up, but you seen it.
Hi, my name's Marty. I'm in a picture. To be contenders.